Moto likes you.
Can I get a French onion soup, please?
Here he comes.
I like 'em big. I like 'em chunky. I like 'em big. I like 'em lumpy.
Please like and subscribe.
So, when I say I will use the dying embers of my channel to expose everything that's been going on in the Tophiachu saga ever since her brother actually passed away, I absolutely will. Why? Because I actually felt real sympathy and empathy for her for everything that she was actually going through, even though everybody was actually getting on her about a lot of other things she did. But just for her to continue acting the way she is and disrespecting accusations and basically making a joke out of the whole situation, it's honestly incredible the way she's still acting. So, I thought we can actually dive into a lot of the most recent, basically catch up on everything she has been going through since my last video on her. And in my last video, we were actually deciding, we were trying to figure out whether or not her brother was actually going to be cremated by her being able to pay for the cremation, or the hospital was going to force a cremation on her brother. Believe it or not, she wasn't even the one that was actually the one to expose that her brother was actually cremated by the hospital himself. Somebody actually ended up posing as a family member of her, getting enough information to initially call the morgue, wherever the morgue is actually located, and get this information by pretending to actually be one of her family members. I won't say how I know, but I can absolutely say factually that Bernalillo County has already cremated Donald Seidel Jr. The papers were signed by his family for the county to process with the indigent service. All right, pause. Pause this for just for a second. Just let's take out the ideology of Tophia being the victim in this whole scenario. Just put any other random person in the situation. I have to kind of agree with Tophia. Pretending to be a part of a person's family members, getting enough information to actually get through the security checkpoints to get that information from the morgue is honestly not only incredible, but a little scary. Now, Reddit is honestly amazing because you have people on that app that are literally dedicated to exposing Tophia in any type of way, in anything she says, in any possible sense. And it's honestly amazing because somebody actually went to the website and got every single expense that the funeral can actually give to a person that's actually paying for a death or an embalmment or a burial or a cremation. Anything that has to do with the funeral service costs, they broke it down expense by expense just to add it up to see if this expenses was going to add up to the actual expense that Tophia was actually claiming that this whole funeral procession was actually going to cost. Now, before we actually get into the expenses, I just want to make it clear how much money Tophia actually was given the initial first base. So how much money she was actually started with, how much money she was actually able to pay for the cremation or any type of thing that had to do with her brother, or the money she's using to go buy clothes or food. She was given about $6,000 from the CVRC, the Crimes Victims Recovery Center, along with a couple $100 from the family members on her mom's side, and also given food cards such as Grubhub and Uber Eats. And that not even including the GoFundMe money that was about $6,000 at the time before people started withdrawing from it. No matter the receipts, no matter the expenses, no matter the actual factual proof that everybody was actually bringing to Tophia on the fact that as much as expense that she's saying, it shouldn't cost more than $4,000, $5,000 to completely bury, cremate, do any type of embalmment, anything that has to do with the actual burial of the death person. It shouldn't be more than $4,000 to $5,000 according to all the expenses that everybody actually broke down on Reddit. So why is she trying to make the argument that everything that has to do with Donald Jr. being cremated or buried is going to cost more than the $6,000 that she received from the CVRC and the GoFundMe money combined? That was $6,000 at the time. And I'm not saying that she was actually supposed to use that money for specifically the death. Maybe the CVRC did give her that money for her to actually take care of herself because she understands that she was homeless, she wasn't making any money, or they saw that she was making stupid money on TikTok. She saw that she was in a very bad situation, so they gave her that money for her to take care of herself. I can understand that. It's honestly pathetic and sad. Tophia is stuck in this perpetual loop of being a victim because she's only seeing herself as someone who is helpless because of her immediate situation, making no active effort to better her situation. But no matter what the conversation that she's actually having at the moment or whoever she's talking to, she has to make sure she reminds everybody exactly what happened and how it affected her, regardless of the way she's actually demonstrating those feelings to the internet.
The same people that saying I'm buying useless stuff, which is not useless because I bought hair care stuff, I bought PJs that I needed, I went to go buy clothes, I didn't find any pants, so I didn't get what I needed, basically because I couldn't find some stuff, but I did get stuff that I needed, right? You're the same people that spend your money on bullcrap and then try to judge how others spend their money. It is weird. I'm a grown adult who literally receives money, and you're so mad at the fact saying, oh, her family won't give her this money and not help her. Like, stop making excuses because your life is shitty. Because you've got a horrible life that you want everyone else to be miserable with you. I'm sorry your life is that miserable that you love to trash on someone who watched their sibling die right before their eyes, and you want to sit here and be some Dr. Phil therapist and tell me I don't have trauma. You're weird for that. I'm so sick and tired of people sitting here and also saying, well, I work with trauma. You don't have trauma. Kudos to you for working with trauma, okay? Kudos to you because I can't do it, okay? And for you to say that I've never had trauma, yes, I had. The amount of people that don't understand that I had to go through, especially because realizing because someone told me so, that the police was discriminating against me because of my online presence. Do you know how messed up it is to not even have the law help you? Do you know how frustrating it is to not have the law help you when you showed them multiple times that people said, are you ready to DIE? But yeah, I'm supposed to be the same one. I'm the one that's supposed to be strong and try to hold on for my mother because I'm the only one she has left. Because I don't want to be the only one she has left because sadly, I don't want to be here anymore. And I'm sick of it. I can't even afford my bills. And yet you want me to go to work and my mind is not sane.
At first, everybody was sympathetic and empathetic for her situation, and she was too towards everybody because she knew that she was going through a very vulnerable time. And she wasn't really trying to fight with everybody. But as time goes on and everybody's understanding how she's not really caring for the situation as she should, then everybody's starting to lose their empathy and sympathy for her, and she's starting to notice that, so she's becoming more cold to the way that people are treating her. But in all reality, how is she going to act cold and treat people the way that she's being treated to the people that people actually care about her, the people that are taking care of her, that are sending her money, that worry about her? It's funny how she really tries to not bring attention to this whole situation, but the more she talks about it, the more she kind of degrades everybody's feelings about caring for her. It brings more attention to the whole situation. Everybody loves playing Where's Waldo, but instead of Waldo, it's Where's Jabba the Hutt. She also hasn't gotten any of the GoFundMe money. Everybody likes to say she's spending the GoFundMe money, but no, she's spending the money that she's actually getting from her parents and the $6,000 that she got from the CVRC. Do I agree with it? Do I think she'd be actually saving that money and maybe trying to get a place rather than sleeping in some homeless shelter? Yeah, but I guess according to her, eyelashes and really ugly mascara is way more important. Like, oh my gosh, she can fly with those things. It seems that as time goes on though, she's starting to become more desperate for the GoFundMe money, because at first she was constantly telling everybody that it was for the burial, but now it's for the moving expenses and his burial. And seemingly because she posed as her mother, making a post on the Tophiachu subreddit, begging people to stop harassing them so they can bury her son. Now look. I honestly have no doubt in my mind that this was Tophia writing this thing, and I can clearly explain why. There are two specific word choices that tell me this is actually Tophia writing this instead of her mother. She's at least, or she's at least telling her mother that this, like what to write. My daughter saw her brother was dead, okay? They are heartless people. They have a Reddit hate page all about my daughter. You can go see for yourself. Tophiachu TikTok. Look at the photos, but also look at the comments. They say horrible things, and there is nothing we can actually do about it. Constantly spread rumors and lies, and I try to defend myself and my daughter, but got banned for commenting. But yet, there are a lot of other people who do not follow the guidelines, and they do not get banned. Their guidelines say no hate speech, yet their posts and comments are full of hate speech. Now, let's just break something down. Marie, Tophiachu's mother, is a very fragile, old, and I don't want to be mean, but she doesn't really look like she's all the way there. So if you honestly tell me that she went onto a subreddit and looked at the rules and the guidelines and went step by step to compare the comments to the guidelines, you're fucking crazy. But you know who does that? You know who does that? You know who's so hypersensitive and hyper attentive to things just like that? Tophia. Like, honestly, she has such a quarrel against exercise. But fuck, dude, it's like watching your own 600-pound life every fucking day. At this point, Tophia's family has not only been trying to contact her, but found out about the things she's actually been saying online. Not only exposing her for cutting off her own family from understanding what happened, but it was also exposed that she was offered a place to live in one of her uncle's houses. Exposing that she lied about no one ever wanted to help her and saying she was trying everything she could to get a safer place to live.
Literally, okay, so my mom did want to stay with him when we were in the car. And my brother did too, and I was like, no, why? So he could find some reason and say, get out. Like, it's not happening. I was lying? Well, I should know. I lived with him. And also, if I'm lying, then why do my uncles not want anything to do with him? Consider the fact I'm not lying that he stole the house that wasn't his because he couldn't pay his rent. Let's be 100% real, because he was about to be homeless. He couldn't pay the rent at his house. He needed a place. The house is not his. That's his son's house. It's in the wheel. And you know what else is in the wheel? To take all the furniture that was in the house. We could have took the refrigerator. We could have took everything and left nothing in there, because it says that we get everything. Like, I don't have to lie about my relative that none of my mom's side of the family wants anything to do with except his side of the family. Hello, like, his brothers don't want to talk to him anymore. and my grandma's sister wants nothing to do with him. Most of the side of the family wants nothing to do with him. And if I was to reach out to the rest of the family and tell him all the crap he's saying about me online and all this stuff, like, that's really going to make them not want anything to do with him. Like, he's the black sheep of the family for reasons, because he made himself that way. I don't have to lie. I'm not the one who came on here coming to the internet because I'm mad I won't get updates. There's a reason why people are not giving you updates about your sister. Use your common sense. And for him to say that my mom would think differently, no, she wouldn't think differently. She doesn't want to talk to you either.
Now look. Okay, let me stop. I'm getting a little excited, but fuck, dude. If this is actually true, like, okay, Tophia likes to talk a lot about her uncle and say he's a liar, he's such a bad person. I'm not taking Tophiachu's word for it. I'm not taking his word for it because he's related. I don't trust anybody, okay? But for one thing that I know damn well for sure is that if Tophia was actually offered a place to live, that she was actually offered a safe space, regardless if she had to work or pay a majority of the rent. But if she was offered an opportunity to have a safe place to live and she forced her family to sleep in the car, this changes everything. Like, this changes everything. It's her fault. It's legit her fault. Like, everything. Like her mother getting messed up, her brother dying, like, all of it. And the thing that really grinded my gears is when she even said it herself, that her mother wanted to move in with her, but Tophia wouldn't allow them because she knew he would force her to get a job because he knows how lazy she is. Her two biggest reasons to not live with them is because that they would have been forced to get a job and that he would have kicked them out anyways after a while. But she already knew he would have kicked them out, or at least her, because Tophia straight up refuses to get a job. We all know this. This is not a surprise. Guarantee he may not be that great of a guy. He has done some stuff in the past, but it's better than being homeless. It's better than losing your brother. It's better than putting your mom through all that shit when your mom legitimately begged to go to her brother's house, but you made her force in the car. We all saw the pictures. She slept with the steering wheel. Didn't she get like infections from that? I think she did. Ugh. It just sucks that you can actually get a little bit of an understanding on how these families felt by just their post. Because she likes to say that why are they posting online if they're trying to get in contact with her? Why is they getting in contact with her through social media? But in all reality, they have said multiple times that they are not answering the phone calls. They are not getting back to them. So in what other way is the family actually supposed to try to get and reach out to the other family members when they're chronically online and they're chronically talking shit? No, I called you the same day, the day after 2 weeks, and you never responded. You're just a sad, sad person. I'm a type of person who runs my own company, type of person that people rely on. I have integrity, and who I am, which I can say for you, you're just trying to get likes and stuff so you can make money off TikTok like your dad doing positive thinking. He was going to be a millionaire, and he's still nobody just like you. Now, I legitimately feel bad for people that are actually getting degraded by a family member because you know they're actually getting degraded because they know some shit. When it comes to this, when it comes to people that are legitimately refusing to change their mentality or change any type of thinking, they need this roughness. They need basically a kick in the ass to understand and be like, hey, I don't want to be fucking mean, but you're a loser. You're a fucking loser. Doesn't that make you feel bad? Don't you feel bad for being a piece of shit? Doesn't that make you feel a type of way? It would make me feel a type of way. Wouldn't that make you feel a type of way? I think it would. But hey, I guess everybody's different. Regardless of everybody talking shit on each other, it's just sad in general that even though this whole tragic situation is going on, even though there's something that goes above and beyond everybody's feud and upsetness, we can't put things aside. We can't put all this nastiness and this attitude and this rudeness. We can't just put things aside to focus on the tragedy and trying to help recover everybody, trying to make everybody whole again. But no, because everybody's so filled with anger and in their manic thinking and just stuck in their ways, nobody wants to change. Nobody wants to do any different. What I can see is that the family of Tophia may not be trying to, reach out for loving, caring things, but they're still reaching out. They're still trying to contact with her, and maybe that's the first step. Maybe that's what it takes to start the road to recovery, because recovery is uncomfortable. And sometimes you have to get through the uncomfortableness to start the progression. But just like how we know Tophia, she ain't never gonna do that because she will never step out of her comfort zone. I am so ashamed of you, Tophia, and your lies about your uncle and the rest of the family. I know for a fact that the minute you messaged your uncle about his sister, he wanted to help, and you are the one that kept your mother's family in the dark. You would not give any of your family information on your own mother and where she was at. We tried finding your mother at every hospital in town. We were unable to find her due to the fact that it was an ongoing crime. You have kept your mother's family out the loop. Bernice has so many family members who wanted to help. Guess it's all about tofu. Grandma Gina would be so disgusted with you and your shenanigans. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. If Tophia is actually barring her own mother from being with her family members, just trying to comfort each other, just love each other, be with each other in this time of fucking crisis. If she's preventing her own mother from doing that, you're evil. You're fucking evil. And I am here for it. Every time she has to go live now, she has to mention the problem with the GoFundMe. But just listening to how she talks about the situation, it's odd that everything she's referring to is me. This is unfair to me. I'm gonna see GoFundMe for me because I deserve the money. When she's trying to act emotional and play to people's hearts, she only mentions her brother still need the money for the burial. But when she's being mocked and upset, she has absolutely no problem making fun of people for donating their money for her moving expenses and burying her brother. These movie expenses could include buying her new clothes because she lost her old ones when she left her car to auction. It's hard to understand that she's going through these life-stopping trauma when she's constantly talking about and reliving the situation, telling everybody that she's allowed to do that. How long are you allowed to do that for? I'd like to know.
You know you killed my brother. And you don't want to admit you did. And don't say like, oh, why are you blaming people? This would have never happened if people had left me alone. You contributed some way, somehow. I didn't blame you, but some of the stuff you said could have caused my brother to get hurt. That's all I'm saying. How do you process a man that did that and not know if it came from the argument he had with his ex? And it, like, I'm not trying to say she did this. I'm not trying to blame her. But I don't know who this man came from. If he came from the internet, if someone hired a hitman.
If I'm being completely honest, the way Tophia continues to talk about the situation and how she's allowed to continue to resurface it, I can almost guarantee that this will be the new forever excuse that she won't ever be able to work because of her trauma and other people denying her trauma, which causes her more trauma. She's constantly trying to spread subliminal messages that people was behind this, either her fans or someone like her ex-brother. Like, the way she's treating the situation, I understand. To get through some type of trauma, you gotta talk about it, you gotta experience it, you gotta break through the brick wall and come out the other top. You gotta do it all. But if you keep building up the brick wall, if you break through the brick wall once and then you just say, fuck it, build another brick wall, you gotta break through that one, and then at the end of the day, you got 25 brick walls that you just keep breaking, nothing's getting better. You're not progressing because you're never leaving that wall. You're just building another one and constantly breaking through it and making like, oh, I'm making progress, but you're still building the wall.
We're gonna build the wall.
Hey, Tophia, you were there and Grandma died. Why don't you tell everybody as soon as she died how you wanted the rings off her fingers? Explain that, you horrible person. God damn! As time goes on, she refuses to even try to better her mental state by trying to move on from the situation in the sense of reliving it every single time she feels attacked by somebody.
I hope your mom dies and then it's your fault. I would suggest you don't. That's why things happen to you, because you talk about other people's dead relatives. Maybe you shouldn't.
But at this point in her life, she has absolutely lost all empathy for everybody besides herself. Because not only is she trying to create false narratives that the community has something to do with it, but she has absolutely no respect for anybody, including her own goddamn father. The police basically forced Tophia to tell Tophiachu about Donald's passing, even though he may not understand the whole situation because he was off his medication. Similar to the way he was acting in the past when Tophia refused to give Tophiachu his medication, he kind of still deserves to know because, I mean, it's his son. And the way that he responded to Tophia was that that he'll bring him back. Obviously, it's a very bad mental state. He thinks that things are fixable, but yeah, it's gonna come to a certain point. He's gonna understand. At least Tophia gave him the slightest of respect of giving him the information and not finding out by some goddamn stranger. Because no, you don't want him to understand it. You don't want him to find out because he'll probably gonna freak out. But is it better coming from a goddamn stranger or coming from a family?
So, yeah, I haven't been in contact with my father since they told me I had to tell him in jail that his son died, even though I didn't want to tell him because I said he's not well enough. But they said, well, he'll find out in jail, and if you don't tell him, we're going to have to tell him. So I had to tell him, and he said, well, I'll bring him back. And then he wasn't interested because he was in his state of mind because he's not on his medication, and there's that. That's the last time I talked to him, so, yeah.
These type of conversations right here, these type of talking, this type of mentality doesn't show anybody any type of understanding that you're trying to fix yourself, that you're trying to better yourself. All you're doing is slinging insults, throwing back in the pot, and you're stewing your own shit just to slurp it up later. It's finally coming around to Tophia's birthday, her first birthday without a brother. And while I can understand her trying to make the best of this special day and good, the way she's acting is just like another constant reminder that nobody, no matter what she's doing, she wants sympathy from people even when she doesn't deserve it.
Like, it's just so frustrating because I don't got money and I literally want to look nice for my birthday because I'm having a hard time. Like, people think I'm just trying to enjoy myself, but this is my first birthday without my brother. I think I deserve to have time. I'm trying not to cry. My makeup. I just want to feel good and feel like my best, and I can't do that because of this whole incident, and I can't live my life normal. Like, I can't be happy. I can't enjoy or have an outlook for life. Like, when something's going good, I feel bad. It's a long, hard process, you know, and I see very cute things, and then when I see they go up to an XL, I'm like, oh.
You say you mess with new friends, and you're trying to make this day positive, but then immediately backtracks to her old name script of her brother no longer being here. This type of behavior that really makes me lose all sympathy for anybody that's traumatized. Trauma can cause PTSD, if severe enough, that you mentally and physically cannot get over it. But the constant accusations from random people and the mention of traumatic incidents just makes the person that's doing these things seem a little less genuine about the trauma. Also, how are we preventing you from burying your brother? That's on you. Oh, I forgot. You need to go spend the money on you. Pathetic. I like to see you go talk to me face to face. Oh, don't forget to go get your lunch and keep posting your disgusting lies. Maybe you should try praying. More lies. Unfortunately, little Don only came over to visit his grandma when he needed more money and cigarettes. You were never there for grandma and never helped her in any way. You are now lying about your cousins. Who do you think helped clean her home and her yard? Certainly not you, you lazy cow. Your uncle would never ask you to spend the night at your grandma's. Why? So you could steal whatever you wanted? Like your grandma would say, you're really in La La Land. The argument that I can actually see Tophia making for this comment specifically is that she's using the $6,000 from the CVRC to actually take care of herself, and then when the GoFundMe money actually comes in, that is going to be needed to actually bury her brother. But her initial statement was that it was going to cost the CVRC money and the GoFundMe money combined, but when that person already actually exposed the expenses, we can clearly see that the CVRC money was going to be clearly enough. But instead of actually using that to bury her brother, she's spending that willy-nilly on whatever she wants, hair extensions, ugly ass makeup, hair dye, basically doing everything else except for taking care of her brother. Why? Because she knows if she spends the money that she was given on the CVRC, that she can spend whatever she wants, she will not receive the money from the GoFundMe because she made the GoFundMe to bury her brother. And she tacked on the moving expenses. So if she doesn't use a little bit of money for the GoFundMe money to bury her brother, then she cannot use it for the moving expenses. And that's the little trick, that's the little windy road and the little tale that she's weaving to try to convince everybody that she needs the money. I swear to God, it's like spotting a unicorn in the wild. It's very fascinating, very lumpy unicorn. It's funny how every time you see this chick out in public, every time you see her, every time somebody's taking a picture of her, she always has a bag with her. Where, like, how much money did the people actually give her? Are you spending the whole $6,000 every time you go out? Are you saving nothing? Like, cause I understand you got a little bit of money. You got $300 from your family. You got a little bit. You got around $300 from your family, and then you got a little bit of money on Grubhub and Uber Eats. So that's not a lot of money. So that can honestly, I can see you spending that in like a week. So I can honestly think that you're not saving up anything. That she's gonna solely use. She's completely solely using the GoFundMe money to bury her brother, and the rest she's gonna pay a home for it. Every time I think about Tophiachu, I honestly get a little bit sad because I remember the moment that she actually stopped completely talking to Tophiachu is when he got arrested for kidnapping charges. I did a video on it. We went over it. Ever since basically he got released from prison, he went to a homeless shelter. They never picked him up. They may have stayed in contact with him in some type of way, but they never initiated any type of contact with him anymore. So ever since that point, he's literally been jumping in and out from jail on trespassing charges, assault charges, basically misdemeanors that he's not really gonna get a lot of time for. So he's literally jumping in and out of jail. After being released, when Tophia was actually telling him about Donald's death, he was booked in again on June 5th, 2025, and then released about 5 days later on June 10th. Released on his own recognizances, which basically means he didn't actually pay anything to actually get out of jail. But it's honestly no doubt in my mind that Tophiachu is actually probably going through a severe mental crisis right now. Not only because he's not only have his meds, but he actually has no support of dealing with the whole situation with his son. Because as much as everybody probably doesn't think it's actually affecting him as much, it's his son. Like, even if people don't have that much in contact with their family members, unless you have really bad blood with them, that you want nothing to do with them, then you're gonna feel some type of way if they pass away. So knowing somebody that's off their medication, that's probably prone to very manic things, and they're given news that basically stops and rocks their entire existence, I can definitely see that person doing some very manic things that cause them to get in trouble. Oh God, and I fucking forgot about this. And of course, she always loves to post how I'm not asking for money, but literally dry begging. If y'all want to send me some cash for my birthday, here's my Cash App. But literally in the fucking tag, no, I'm not asking for money. I wish every day my brother was alive. I will always grieve. I'll never stop grieving. You don't know how hard it is? What the fuck? What does that have to do with one another? On one, if y'all want to send some birthday for my cash, here's my Cash App. And then the next, I'm fucking dumb. I'm crying because my brother is dead. Like, bro, like, this is the type of shit. You're fucking dry begging off of your dead brother. That is wild. That is fucking wild. Take Tophia out of the situation and put anybody back in that's still fucked up. That's not a specific Tophia thing. That's a fucked up thing to do as a person, Tophia. Ooh, look at them legs. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Not hers. No. Oh God, no. What really pains me is that she really doesn't understand the whole ideology of how everybody actually sees the situation. Is that if she didn't actually give a lot of attention to everybody's drama, everybody's shit talk, then everybody actually wouldn't do it. Because that people want a reaction, and she is the queen of reactions. You can tell her to fucking get a job and she'll start crying.
And send me money. The last time I asked for money was $5 for my phone bill because clearly I can't work. I'm a victim of a crime. I literally have trauma, which people try to say I don't. You are not a licensed doctor. Stop trying to be Dr. Phil and telling people you don't have trauma. You're just crazy. Or not crazy, but he tries to diagnose people. He's not even a real doctor.
So when people out and see her in public, they're like, oh my God, no way, that's her. So they literally have to snatch a photo with her, even though the most awkwardest fucking angles of the situations. But just like how I said earlier, somebody literally reinforces what I was saying. I live in the same city as her. She's always at the mall, and I see her buying boba all the time. She's spending the money on the wrong things. I have a picture for evidence, and that's this one right here, and she fucking has his face in the camera. Turn around, ho! I don't want to see that. But do you guys understand how expensive boba is, especially nowadays, today? Like, just even a fucking stupid medium drink is like $7. So just $7 times fucking 7. It's a lot of money. I don't know how much off the top of my head, but that's a lot. So I can definitely understand her. Like, at this point, there's no way that she actually kept that. Unless her family is consistently sending her money, because in the first place, she said she had the Uber Eats money. She had the Uber Eats, Instacart, and then she had the $300 from her family. So unless she's continuously getting that chunk of money, there's no doubt in my mind that she's dipping her little greasy hands into the CVRC 6000. There's no fucking doubt. Who is gassing up? Who is telling her to feel herself? No, I actually think she's actually talking to somebody. She actually mentioned multiple times that she's talking to some guy. She has a couple girls on the side. So whoever you are, you nasty, nasty motherfucker, you need to stop. You need Jesus. Now, before we actually get into this next video, I would like to issue a warning to all my children out there that avert your eyes from the bottom 50% of the screen. Please don't do it.
My Switch, my computer, my headphones, possibly my brother's iPhone, my mom's iPhone, my clothes. I just bought new clothes, mind you. I had to rebuy that gorilla shirt because I lost my gorilla shirt. I bought a bunch of shirts from Walmart. I had a lot of clothes. It's gone, all of it. It's all gone. So now I have to take the legal route because it's not my fault. They didn't tell me where the car is at. 'Cause see, when they tow your car, it goes to a tow yard, and they wasn't telling me where the car was at, where it was towed. So it's not my fault. If you're saying whose fault is it, it's not mine. I called like tow yards, but you know, I can't call every tow yard in Albuquerque. That's dumb. Do you know how many tow yards are here?
Nothing ever changes for the Tophia situation, and that's due to her making it like that. But no matter how much time goes on, she doesn't do anything to improve her situation, nor does she even seem like she has the even wanting to improve her situation. I'm certain at this point that if Tophia can actually survive this whole sympathy situation that she's getting from everybody for the rest of her life, she absolutely will. She's demonstrated that she's not only willing to do everything in her power to not get a job, but she will continue to beg for money no matter what, just to fund her lifestyle. And the honest worst part about this whole situation is, well, I don't even want to say it's the worst part of it, but the misunderstood part about the situation is I legitly feel like people would like Tophia if she stopped doing the shit she's doing. I legit feel like people would support her more if she turned her life, don't bark, interrupt me. I feel like she would legit turn her life around. Everybody would actually start supporting her a lot more. They would donate to her. They would follow her. They would encourage her. She would actually have fans instead of haters if she turned her shit around legitimately. She started posting everybody. She started proving to everybody that she's trying to make her life better, and she's taking actual steps to do it.
Yes, well, GoFundMe is holding on to the money, and it keeps going down, and I don't know what's going on. Apparently, apparently the whole thing with GoFundMe is just that we gave them like what they needed, the information. Thank you for the gifts, but it's going down and down and down, and I don't know. There's no way to contact them through customer service, and I already have a thing with legal aid, but I need legal help, like, to sue them because I need that money. Like, that would really help me a lot.
But that's the thing. She doesn't want to. It's the same and simple, plain fact that she knows that she does never have to work if she just bitches and moans and cries about her situation, which a lot of people do on TikTok nowadays. Like, I'm honestly surprised on how much like crying and bitching and moaning can pay well. I'm honestly considering it. Now, of course, I understand that you're not supposed to be sad forever. Like, I understand there has to be at some point that you want to, you know, start improving your life, being happier day by day. Yeah, you're not going to feel better because of the whole situation, but you don't want to feel depressed every single day. It comes to a certain point when it gets like that. But when you're doing that, when you're improving, you're starting to climb that hill. You broke through that first wall.
We have no choice.
Don't build that wall back up. Don't roll down back the hill just because you want sympathy at the start again, just because you want to be cheered at the start when everybody was cheering for you when you started. Just because you want that again doesn't mean you go back down the hill. You keep climbing until you get to the top, because when you get to the top, those cheers are 10 times what they were at the start. But she doesn't understand that, and she won't understand that, and the simple fact that she does not want to understand that.
Uber there, Uber back, unless someone wants to send some money for some Uber. Somebody was like, I'll send you money for an Uber, like Cash App, $Tophiachu, just like so I could get an Uber there and an Uber back, because buses don't run today. It's 4th of July. That sucks. Dry begging. Yes, I am. You know why? Because I deserve to enjoy 4th of July. Like, why not?
But here we are, finally all caught up to the absolute ridiculousness that I call Tophia. While I can really have sympathy for anybody that has gone through this terrible circumstances, you don't get to use that as a forever clutch, not to ever get a job or improve any part of your own life. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that if Tophia gets that GoFundMe money, she will not spend even a dime to get like a real place. More than likely, she'll get a cheapest motel and then spend the rest of the money on her. Because at this point, it doesn't even seem like she's not saving the complete max amount that she can get for the best living situation. No, she's gonna get the set amount of money from the GoFundMe, and then she's gonna get a place within that budget, which in more than likely is not gonna be that good of a place. The whole GoFundMe money situation, when she first started promoting it, it was specifically about burying her brother, or so-called moving expenses. But over time, she has made it specifically clear that these moving expenses constitute basically anything she seemingly feels like, because she classifies losing her clothes that were in her car that was sold to auction because she wouldn't put in the effort to actually call the tow town's yards and find it. She will justify any type of expense as moving just so she doesn't get called a scammer for using the GoFundMe money. You know, when I was coming up with today's script, I was actually thinking about making today's video a drinking game that every time Tophiachu would actually say the word trauma, we take a shot. But I then realized I would probably get alcohol poisoning by the end of it. But I mean, hey, if this video gets 25 likes, I will make an entire compilation of a lot of videos going on with Tophiachu, and every time she says trauma, we'll take a shot. I'll probably die by the end of it, but we'll do it. Oh yeah, and one more thing, Tophia, before I go. You know, I just want to tell you, I care for you, I feel for you, but from the bottom of my dick, from the depths, the abyss of my testicles,